I'm hoping to get in here clean one of these days. But special shout out to all the folks that have made it possible. Special shout out today to Ryan Brown and everybody, and special thanks. John Adams wrote a real nice article on our transition, and I'm hoping to transition at some point. That seems to be a popular thing these days. Making the transition. Matt Dixon, do you have faith in us? Do you have faith in me making the transition and the respectability, Matt? Where are you on that?
Well, between Laura and some of the people at Fanrun, and yeah, you're surrounded by enough people, you can make a nice transition. Yeah.
It's pretty great. So yesterday, guys, before we do our, because we're going to get into the football weekend, I had an incredible time at physical therapy yesterday. They were so I got my MRI back. I've got more holes in my back than like Swiss cheese, right? So they were working these muscles yesterday that I didn't even know I had, and I woke up today and I am like, wow. I feel like I got twisted into a pretzel yesterday. But I'm pretty fired up, focused, and prepared. I'm pretty excited to be with you today. And we're going to talk about what we learned in week one and the weekend to come. And, guys, off the jump, Matt, what is your, when you think about Tennessee and the rest of the way, because I was just talking to a buddy of mine that kind of covers this deal, and we were sort of comparing notes. How much of the injury situation concerns you on defense?
A lot. It was my biggest takeaway and kind of storyline that came out of that first game. Just the number of injuries. They were at positions of depth, but it's still not good to have starters go out. In the first quarter of your first game. Didn't think they looked good at all. Jackson Moore, I think, got hurt on the third play of the game. Ricky Gibson got hurt early, never came back. I mean, I think those are very concerning because you got an 11-game grind coming up over the next couple of months that you're going to inevitably have other injuries that crop up. You just kind of hope you really can't afford to have any injuries on the offensive side. I mean, that's the only kind of blessing in disguise is you've had some of these injuries crop up at the deepest positions on your team, which is, what you got, why you develop depth, and you have to play a bunch of young guys all the time, because if you don't play them, they're going to leave anyway.
Well, I've been poking around, on this Gibson deal, right? When Josh Heupel said a couple days ago, Gibson was going to be out. What's the word he used? Like an extended period of time, which is not how he generally talks. Let me have that right to that pillow, yeah. Which is generally not how he talks, I was kind of like, whoa. And we were talking the other day. Was he being was he playing semantics there? Was he being, what was he being? And I don't think he was playing semantics. I don't think he was playing games. Visiting with some different sources, I think he's got like a pec issue, and I believe he's going to miss a significant amount of time. So I just wonder, Matt, how much that weakens them, how much that exposes them when they get into some of these real football games. I guess beginning next week.
Well, you're essentially down your two starting corners, which takes that from being, maybe one of the best corner tandems in the country to you've got Colton Hood, who, thank God you got him when you did.
Yes.
And then you don't really have, you got Ty Redmond, who's got a lot of potential and kind of flashed. Jalen Murray, even though he kind of played star the other day, and then obviously the Boo Carter deal. So It's concerning. You have, an All-American and then kind of maybe kind of fringe All-SEC type corner in Gibson, and now they're both gone. And you've got to – I think it takes away a lot of the aggressiveness that Tim Banks had or could have used this year, because you don't trust your guys on the back end to hold up, especially if their plans were to maybe to play man coverage a little bit more this year, which opens up a lot of things you can do blitz wise, but they probably can't do much of that anymore, especially not right now.
And so here's the question that we're going to kick around today at 865-200-5402. Bill Connolly in the CNN or ESPN. What is that? The SP Model C? Is that right? The kind of thing SP Plus that they've come up with. They've got Tennessee. He's got Tennessee, the 7th seed in the playoffs right now, and he's got the Vols essentially in a spot where they could host a playoff game. He says Tennessee, in his model, is an underdog only one game the rest of the way. Now, I want to know from you guys if you guys are buying that. I want to know from the living listener if you're buying that, because here's the issue. The issue I have with any of this is we really don't know what's on these teams. Now, we had a nice week 1 here, and that was fun. And it was good for the soul. And it was great to see, but we really don't know yet. I mean, we kind of think but you only saw a week, and you're not going to know after this week, and you're not going to know really, you're not even going to know after the Georgia game. Like yesterday, Negative was on here, and he's like, well, you got to show it to me in the Georgia game. And I'm going, well, I mean, Georgia's the gold standard of the deal. So what if you go out there and you get whacked by them? That doesn't show anything. I mean, most teams in this league are going to lose to Georgia. I mean, most teams are. And there are going to be some playoff caliber teams that would lose to a Georgia. And so my question's this. As we think about the upcoming weekend, because the upcoming weekend's pretty significant for Tennessee, there are teams playing that we need to keep our eyes on that are on the schedule here. Oklahoma's got Michigan. That's significant. Arizona State visits Mississippi State, which is a real low-key banger, which will be going on while we're doing our Garza Law 5th quarter fan reaction postgame. And, the truth is we kind of think we know right now sort of what we have, but I don't know that you're going to know till mid-season. And I want to see if these guys think that's right. Or am I being a little overly cautious and kind of a killjoy? I think Tennessee's got a nice team. But to Matt's point, on defense, you can't afford any more injuries. And here's my problem. Here's what we're counting on. We're counting on Florida being beat up by the time we get to them. Oklahoma gone through a gauntlet by the time we get to them. What about the gauntlet we just went through? We didn't even play a real physical team the other day, and we had guys dropping like flies. I'm just asking for a friend. I want to come back. I want to talk about that. And then I want to set this weekend up, and I want to get your thoughts on what we're about to see. What 2 games, Tennessee game notwithstanding, are you most looking forward to seeing, which was our topic last Thursday? We had a lot of different answers. This week, the card is almost razor thin in college football, yet really intriguing because it's a great sport. And we come back with more. I got C in here. I got Brian Hartman in here. I got TGMD. I got you on a Thursday. And we got more on the other side right after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw, available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage.
Why limit great savings to just one weekend? This year, our Labor Day special lasts all month long. It's the September Smart Comfort event from Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month only, enjoy valuable home comfort upgrades at no extra cost when you install a new HVAC system or water heater to prepare your home for the colder months ahead. This September, you can get a free furnace upgrade with qualifying HVAC system installation or free sediment filter with water heater installation. Pipe Wrench is your partner for energy-efficient and cost-effective upgrades that keep your family comfortable and safe year-round. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. No rush, no stress, just smart seasonal savings for HVAC or water heater installations until the end of September. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
TB back with you. As we welcome you back, we got the cast, the panel. I got C in the house. I got TGMD. I got Brian Hartman. I got SP Plus from ESPN. A lot of initials there. And we're going to open up the TLD Logistics Hotline. More letters. AC, you're kind of our science guy in here. You're like Bill Nye among us, you and Dixon. You're kind of our sports science guys here. What do you make of this Conley's SP Plus thing? Good model, junk science, somewhere in between, the best, the gold standard? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of talked about this a little bit in the past. There's not like there hasn't been anyway like a KenPom type widely accepted metric in college football. I think SP Plus is kind of closest we have. I think it's pretty good. Obviously, none of these are perfect, but of what we have, I'd say his is probably now the most widely used and kind of most widely accepted as well. I don't pretend to know every single thing that goes into it. You can kind of look at some of the different stuff. It seems like it's becoming more and more part of the just regular media discourse as year by year, because there's not really anything else out there, which is interesting. We talk about all the stuff in college basketball, especially with all the KenPom and Torvik and all that stuff. And you hear people talking about it in the mainstream on broadcasts, selection committee, that kind of thing. And we haven't really gotten to that point with football yet, but I think SP Plus is kind of trending that way. And I've seen a million times this week people referencing that Texas-Ohio State game. I think Texas and using Conley's stuff.
Yeah.
Texas had an 82% chance win expectancy, post-game win expectancy, and that kind of thing has been starting to be widely used. And I do think, obviously, it's probably better for kind of digging to the. I mean, it's better on a wide scale view to use numbers like that than just eye tests, to be honest. But obviously there's a place for both. And so I think it's good. It's anything like that's going to have flaws. I don't think it's probably. I think a shorter 12-game season, it's a little bit harder, especially when you have such wide gulfs in some of the opponents played across those 12 games. It's a little bit harder than like a 40-game basketball season or some of the stuff you get with, especially like MLB, when you have the 160 games, you're going to get a pretty clear picture with the numbers by the end of it. But you can get kind of muddy, I think, when you're trying to do it based on really small sample sizes, and it can kind of fool you a little bit. But obviously there's some preseason stuff baked in and things like that. But yeah, I think, kind of long answer short, I think it's a good tool that is going to be important as we try to, because the way sports are going, that the numbers are going to creep in, and there's going to be a lot of it over the next few years, I would think, as we get, people, larger staffs, analytics guys, things like that. And there's got to be someone to kind of advance,
right,
the credible numbers. And I think he's probably done the best of anybody so far. So I'd say his are probably the gold standard of what's out there, but I don't think it's quite to the level I would say of KenPom is how I would answer that.
What's going to be really interesting going forward, guys, is how these staffs, as this thing becomes more and more of a playoff sport, especially, Matt, when we get to that 16 deal, is how these staffs figure out how to gimmick his deal, kind of like they do in basketball. In basketball, the goal is when the KenPom number comes out, it's for you to beat it. And that means when you're playing one of these directional schools in hoops and you're Tennessee and you're up late, you keep your starters in later and you try to beat that number. It's really interesting to watch them try to gimmick and finagle that number. So what you're telling me, C, is, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you guys tell me if this is a proper way to read this. It's a really good sign then that Connolly has Tennessee where he has them after 1 week. It's almost like mission accomplished. Is that a good way of looking at this?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of preseason stuff baked in. I think he was higher on Tennessee in the preseason than maybe some of the other power ratings, but I do think it's something to keep an eye on. I don't think it's, like I said, I don't think it's as perfect as Kim Pom, who, as we've talked about, Vegas uses almost exactly, because I think I heard you say that they have Tennessee favored in every game except Georgia the rest of the way.
That's right.
I don't think that would be accurate as far as Vegas. Like, Alabama is not Tennessee. If they played at Alabama on Saturday, it would be about a touchdown underdog.
Okay.
So as far as the Vegas ranking, so I don't. That's one area where I don't think his numbers are fully caught up. But I mean, that is a big difference. If you think about before last week, like the preseason look ahead line, Tennessee was plus 13.5 at Alabama. So it can move quickly. If I saw Alabama lost another nose tackle this week. They're down to their third nose tackle. So it's moved 6 points in Tennessee's favor. I think it was 13.5 last week. I was looking, I think I would make it about 7.5 this week. So it could, by the time we get to that game, it's very possible, it could move another 6 or 7 points if things continue to go poorly for Alabama and Tennessee plays well. So, but I don't think his numbers are to the point where you can trust them. So Vegas is just blindly posting his numbers like they do with Kim Pom. So I think that, if that makes sense.
Well, let me ask you this. If Tennessee went to Florida right now, because I'm asking a living listener, are you buying what Bill Connolly's selling? Now, Bill Connolly's higher on the Vols than I was, and probably a lot of people listening to us were coming into the year. And now he has Tennessee 7. He says they're an underdog against Georgia. I think we all buy that. He says that they're going to be favored in every other game. He's projecting that Alabama is going to fall. He's projecting that Tennessee is going to continue to rise. What about that Florida game, though, that we all just kind of, through classical conditioning, where's Pavlov when you need him? We all just sort of file away as a loss. What if they played that game tomorrow down there, Steve? What would that number be?
I think Florida's about a 3-point favorite. I think both teams are, depending on what system you look at, what power, their teams are pretty even as of right now. And so the game at Florida, I think you're looking about a field goal. Florida's about a field goal favorite.
So, Matt, I come to you then, Bri. Conley might be onto something here, guys. Yes, Matt?
He was higher on Tennessee, his preseason stuff than most of the computer stuff. So obviously Tennessee, playing better than expected would rise. But I mean, Oklahoma's 7, Tennessee 8, and Florida 9 in his. And Alabama fell all the way to 11. But so it's not. I mean, like C said, Tennessee's not going to be favored in 10 of their last 11 games. They'll be, I would say, an underdog in at least 2 of them and probably 3 of them. But that's the beauty of the sport. It gets to play out on the field, and the on field, like the end result doesn't always reflect the numbers and his data. I mean, there's some power rankings that still have Texas ahead of Ohio State, and if they played this weekend again, Ohio State would be a slight favorite again, but not a lot. And if Alabama played Florida State again, Alabama would still be a favorite, not as heavy a favorite. But so it's fun to look at, fun to talk about, and gives you an overhead view of where teams stand from a kind of a non-biased type deal. I guess even though there can be bias in these rankings and numbers, but it's kind of an overhead view of all the teams and gives you a good idea of where they stand.
Yeah, and I guess the difference is, right, when you start thinking about college basketball, those teams play each other in November, which, I mean, how much it matters, who knows? We can debate that because it's still a tournament sport in March, but it does give you an idea of the strength of one roster versus another. And there's so many moving parts in college football, which leads me to this. When does what we see on the field, guys, to you become real, and to the listener as well? Like, I don't know what we saw from Tennessee's offense over the weekend. It was really impressive. Okay, let's just start there. It was really, really, really super impressive. But I don't know how real it was. If that makes any sense. Like, because it takes two to tango, as the old saying goes. And that Syracuse team can't play on defense. They just can't move. And you can see that. They look like one of our bad defenses back in the day. And here's the thing. Two things can be true at the same time. And so, you know, I'm left to wonder, because we've got to kind of, in real time, put things in perspective in a sport, guys, that just doesn't have perspective to it. And, Matt, I like what you just said about that Bill Conley thing, because really that SP Plus and models like that are sort of a guide, right? But they're not the truth. But they're a guide. They're a guide. And then, see, people look at a line and they say, well, a line connotes who's better than the other. No, a line is designed to get action on both sides, because that's when Vegas makes their money. If I can split my handle and I have a handler's fee, and I pretty much don't want to be rooting for one side or another, I've made a proper line. Isn't that true when you look at the numbers?
To a degree, but there's the Vegas takes sides now in today's, because they can't expose them. Like, they can't put a bad side hoping to get public money, because then you're going to get people coming in who have these people who are betting big money.
Okay.
Like, you can't expose yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So I think nowadays, I mean, yeah, there's times where they're going to take a stand against the market a little bit. And I don't think it's exactly they're looking for 50-50 anymore, because I think the bettors are just a little more sophisticated than that. And there's so much volume that I wouldn't say that anymore. I think that's a little bit of a misconception, maybe how things used to be done. But I do think that, obviously, who's favored is not what we're looking for at the end of the day. Like, yeah, like Matt said, there's a lot of these power rankings that Texas moved up in after losing to Ohio State. And I do think in some people's rankings, they would have Texas maybe favored if that game was played again. But that game's not going to be played again. Ohio State won. And really in this sport, we're not, I don't think we're concerned with who's going to be favored, whatever. It comes down to who won if the game's played on the field. So you can get a little bit too far into these numbers and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, I think there's value in it for sure, especially when kind of comparing two teams. Who's favored is a good way to kind of get a bird's eye view, like Matt said, of team quality and things like that. But I mean, teams win as big underdogs in this sport all the time. And just because Florida State would be underdogs again against Alabama doesn't mean that takes away from their loss or anything like that. And as much movement and player movement as there is in the sport, there's going to be huge adjustments.
Yes.
Continuing on for the next month. So even if I say Tennessee is right now would be a 7-point underdog against Alabama, that doesn't mean that they would be an underdog when the game's played.
Which is what you said,
Alabama
right?
Could be just as bad as they looked.
Right. I mean, Conley's kind of counting on that. Go ahead, Bri.
When do the markets sort of catch up with what happens on the field and you start seeing lines that are more legitimate? Does it take a few weeks? Does it take until October, November?
Yeah, I'd say it takes at least a month in college football. I think the NFL is kind of known as having the sharpest lines. That's the most action. Tony, we were talking to your guy VIP Play Will about this.
Yep.
And he said that, I mean, it's kind of what you'd expect. The sports that get the least amount of action, like if you're betting tennis or kind of the UFC, a little bit more of the niche sports, those are going to be those lines are going to take longer to catch up. If you have information, if you have a model, if you're really dialed in, you might have better information than the books do. But when you get to the NFL, they're going to be sharp quickest. Like maybe within 2 or 3 weeks, they're going to have the best lines. College football, they're getting a ton of action, so they're going to be caught up within, I don't know the exact time, but month or so, they're going to be better. But yeah, early in the season, there's soft lines. Really, like the first week,
if you know what you're doing,
3 weeks, there's ways you can beat the market if you have some kind of edge that maybe they don't have, especially with all this transition in the portal. The lines are not exactly exact at this point. To be fair,
one thing I wanted to point out, because we talked about this a couple days ago, it's a low-key banger on the card this weekend, and it's significant for Tennessee. Arizona State and Mississippi State. Now, I think it's very interesting that in talking to somebody in the industry, and you guys tell me what this means, but apparently a couple of these syndicates who bet huge amounts of money, some real like heavy duty money has come in on Mississippi State this weekend. What is the significance of that, guys? And do you guys think that Mississippi State has a legitimate chance to beat that Arizona State team and they're building on Saturday night? Because that seems like that is a result. As a Tennessee fan, we really need to watch that game, and we really need to be all on board for Arizona State in that football game, who, by the way, lost a significant amount from that really good team they had last year that just got better as the year went along. I wonder what the significance of that is, and could Mississippi State be a live dog in that spot there, guys?
Yeah, I think so, because they may have one of the top running back quarterback tandems in the league with Devon Booth is a nice player, and Chapin had a nice game in their first game against Southern Miss. And Arizona State has to come across the country and play in an atmosphere they may not be used to. And I just think 6.5 is a lot of points. I wouldn't be surprised if either team won, but I would sort of lean toward taking the points there.
See, what's your feeling on that game? And you too, Matt, like the significance of that from a Tennessee perspective. The Vols, we do not need Mississippi State to pop up as a potential hotspot for us at the end of September.
Yeah, I think I heard you talking to me this week. I think I kind of agree with you. I think this is probably the fifth toughest game when you look at it. I'm a little lower on Arkansas maybe than some, but I think this is probably the fifth toughest game on the schedule, which is kind of crazy to say, but it does kind of show you where Tennessee's schedule kind of shakes out. They're going to probably win the next 2 weeks after this. They have two kind of hoopties, as you call them, the next 2 weeks after this. So they'd be 4-0 if they could win this game. I'm not sure if they can or not. Obviously, Levitt's back for Arizona State.
Yep.
I wasn't super impressed with Arizona State over the weekend, but I do think that they're probably more talented, and I think that Dillingham's a really good coach. So I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona State looked a lot better and took it to them. But I am very interested to watch it. I didn't get to see a lot of the Mississippi State Southern Miss game, but I know it was close early, and Mississippi State kind of came on. I don't know. I think it's like Brian said, they're live. 6.5 is not a lot. I mean, Arizona State's ranked right around the top 10. Is that right?
Yeah.
So obviously that kind of shows you, I don't know how much to put in these rankings. Like South Carolina is a little high for my liking. Illinois, like that. But I mean, it shows you that they're not incapable. If they're a 6.5 point home underdog against Arizona State, I don't think it's a guaranteed win for Tennessee, especially because I don't think truly know what this Tennessee team is. And we're not going to, outside of next week, really see them prepared in any way to play Mississippi State. Because I think Mississippi State is kind of a cut above the other three teams you're playing outside of Georgia. So it's a little bit of an interesting game where the schedule just is so interesting because it's hard to judge these kind of mid-tier games because you play so many of these awful opponents that it's hard to know what to take from them.
Hey, Matt. That is a low-key, very significant game for us this weekend is that game, the way that thing goes.
Yeah, because they could be 4-0 with a lot of momentum playing at home, and which would make it probably a really good atmosphere. I think it was I guess 2012.
Yeah.
They were undefeated and had a night game, and Tennessee's defense was kind of like your back and just full of Swiss cheese. But
oh my gosh, man. That was unbelievable.
You had Cordell Patterson running around, but like that, and that you get put in a spot deal, and that would be one of those where you got a really hot team, and it's I mean, let's just be honest. We saw it last year. That's the inevitable hypo letdown spot is that game. That would kind of be it. Early, kind of early in the season, lull you to sleep against kind of a guy that was on hypo staff and kind of friendly. So that is an intriguing game this weekend. So that is one to watch that has probably more impact on Tennessee than the Michigan Oklahoma game that would be my game to watch.
I love that Michigan Oklahoma game too, man. That's going to be. I mean, this weekend the card is not great. I don't know how they get away with this. The TV networks, all these Division 1 AA games, which are just, like yesterday we celebrated ETSU on here, and and it's a way for them to fund what they're doing. But from a watchability standpoint, it is. Obviously it's a rough watch. By the way, tomorrow we're going to be live at Calhoun's on the River. The great Al Wilson's going to be with us. The great Bino will be in the house. Also, we're doing our Machi kickoff tomorrow. Machi Brook will be down there. We'll be announcing what game we're doing. And then we're going to need you to round up some tickets. So it's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Let's go to the phones. And without further ado, let's get our first call in. Hello and welcome. You're live on a Thursday.
Hey, Tony. This is Kevin in Muletown, Columbia, Tennessee.
Hey, Kevin.
First-time caller.
Welcome in, my brother. Good to talk to you in Columbia.
The home of Lindsey Nelson, and
wow,
also the home of James K. Polk and one of my favorites, Fred Jenkins. If you remember Fred.
Oh, you bow your head when you say thy name, the great Fred Jenkins.
I hear you, brother. I went to school in the 90s there, and I've known about you for a long time, but something told me I got to start listening to you. So I downloaded the app, and for the last month, I've been listening. I go on a 7-mile walk every afternoon.
Nice.
So I listen to the podcast, and I'm hooked, brother. I am hooked. I enjoy your knowledge. I enjoy your guests, the guys you got with you, and enjoy the callers. So I am definitely hooked. So I appreciate you.
Well, we've been kind of growing like a weed, thank God. And the thing about what we're trying to do is just sort of meet people, and enjoy these seasons that we have. Enjoy all the sports and enjoy the seasons. That's kind of what I try and do every day.
Well, I'm here in the mid-state, and you can only hear so much Titans, and you can only hear so much Predators, and
yep.
I want to hear balls. So you're on it, and you don't you talk other games too, other teams, but that's what I'm talking about. But I was just wanting to mention something, man. Beginning of the year, I saw a picture of Lance Hurd about a month before the season started, and I knew right then this dude is different now. This guy is different, and this whole offensive line has upgraded from last year. And I just wanted your thoughts on that.
Look, I think Lance Hurd worked really hard in the offseason to get to where he wanted to go. He looks completely different. Last year, he came into camp a little beat up, a little injured, a lot out of shape compared to where he wanted to be. And good on him, man, because he looks like a totally different player now. And, Matt, he looked like a completely different actor over the weekend, did he not, in the Syracuse game?
Yeah, he was really good. Your whole line was outstanding, which, given you had to move, 3 guys around, probably says more about Syracuse than it does Tennessee's up front. But no, Lance Hurd looks different, and is one of these guys that this is an NFL contract year. Would say contract year, but that's every year now in college football. But an NFL contract year for him, and it looks like he's going to take full advantage. He was a 5-star, top 20, top 30, overall recruit when he went to LSU. So I think he's got a chance to really shoot up draft boards this year with a good year. But like you said, he's finally healthy, and it's year 2 in the system, which maybe doesn't matter as much to a lineman, but there's still some. Something to being in a system for your second year and feeling more comfortable in it.
Hey, we upgraded at every position, I think, on that line. Pendleton, I loved Cooperman, but he underachieved, to me. And this Pendleton kid, who I think has multiple years, he looks like he's going to be a leader. But Hey, Tony, I appreciate you, brother. Look forward to listening to you some more. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I don't know if I would say that Cooper May's underachieved. I think Cooper May's got everything out of his God-given ability, and there's something to be said for that. I mean, he worked really hard at it. The Pendleton guy, though, was a nice piece of homework by Tennessee. And pretty fortuitous that they got a guy that could play guard and center at a pretty high level.
And don't forget Mo or the guy from Arizona.
You're right, Brian.
What's his name?
Wendell Mo.
Wendell Mo.
Here, the deal is with all these organizations, and I say the word organization because he said this earlier, you've got all these people inside these apparatuses now within these programs. The importance is you better be on your evals. You better be on your evals. You better be on your game when you're in that portal and you're evaling guys. And that's why, Matt, my curiosity, and people pointed it out this week in lieu of light of the way Joey football played. I just can't get over how they found this guy that just kind of fell into their lap. Looks like he fits their system better than the guy they wooed and paid all those millions of dollars to. It's so odd. So strange.
And it will be the second time that's happened because they did that happened with Hendon Hooker too. They actually went through a spring with Hendon Hooker and decided they needed to go get a quarterback.
Yes.
And then, it's really weird. I would love to know if what Heupel does differently with the guys that he doesn't think fit his system that wind up, being better quarterback. I wonder what he adjusts because it's a fascinating thing to see happen. And this appears to be the second time in a row that's kind of happened. And Heupel's handpicked guy isn't as good as the guy that kind of was just there.
Hey, see, that doesn't seem possible, does it?
No, it is very interesting that I don't know what to make of it either, to be honest. I've thought a little bit about it and talked to people. I don't know. It's got to be something. I think somebody said it earlier this week. It's got to be. I think maybe John Adams might have said it. It's got to be just looking for the arm strength and having kind of that dream of being able to just make all the throws and open everything up in the offense. And maybe it clouds maybe some of the qualities that are even more important, like decision making and ability to scramble and things like that. But I don't know. It is very interesting how he seems to really, really be fixated on, having that NFL arm. And sometimes it seems like it's kind of worked against him when some of these guys who are just take what you can get guys have been look like the better fits when you talk about Hooker. And then we don't know for sure with Aguilar, but like you said, it definitely looked better, at least to the eye test in one game than what we saw from Milton or Nico.
It is such a curiously strange thing, but let's go back to the phones and get our next call in on your TLD Logistics phone lines on a Thursday. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. Try this again. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air. In 3 and 2 and in 1, sold to the lady in the red hat. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Tone?
Who's your ball, Ryan? Welcome in, buddy.
Yeah. Here's my question, and I totally agree with everybody's analysis, and I think Matt and you are doing a good job to say very positive things, but everybody, let's relax a little bit. I do have one counter to throw on the corner point. I think we have lost our two most experienced corners. It's early, but is it possible we didn't lose our two best corners? Is Hood for Ricky Gibson an even swap? What do you guys think? Might be too early for that, but I think there's a potential there.
Hey, Matt, that's a crazy thing about this player movement is that when you look at these rosters, anything's possible, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I mean, Hood I think he was your best defensive player out there for that game.
Yeah,
all over in coverage. So I do think that could be a fair trade and maybe a slight upgrade there. I mean, that's certainly possible. Absolutely. Again, you still wouldn't want to lose Gibson, and you definitely need McCoy back at some point. But I just hope this doesn't rush him back.
The thing that stood out to me, guys, and Sean talked about this yesterday, which I think is a point well worth reestablishing here, which is because he was talking about this with Watson Brown. Tennessee broke 10 passes up in that game. Matt, when is the last time the Vols broke up? They used to go 4 or 5 football games without knocking 10 passes down. I mean, when is the last time we saw that type of corner play? And it was both of those guys. It was both of those guys looking back at the ball.
Yeah, they were, and they had a couple of PI penalties. Which,
sure,
whatever.
I'll
take those.
Yes,
because all that good outweighs the bad. I mean, we joked for so many years that our DBs are never even in position to get a PI flag or to grab a jersey because they're 3 steps away from a guy when they make a catch. So to see those guys being that aggressive and that physical and locked on to receivers is a really good thing. And it's a Syracuse team that, I mean, they lost about everything, but they led the country in passing last year. So it's not like they don't have a good scheme or at least know what they're doing.
Oh, those old slow guys we used to have, Matt, that wouldn't even get in the picture when passes.
They would go like the whole season without breaking up 10 passes.
They broke up 10 passes in a college football game against a Power 4 opponent. Pretty good. And listen, Syracuse has nothing on defense. They've got a nice little team offensively. I mean, they're going to score some points in their league. They're going to put some points on the board this year.
Yeah. What's the word on the young man from Alpharetta? I know he went out at the very end, but Heupel didn't even dress him. Is he okay?
You talking about Redmond?
The new kid who's
he's gonna play.
Long arm.
No, he's fine.
Long arm kid.
Yeah, he's going to play. He's fine.
Great. Well, and my final point is, you hit the nail on the head, Tony. I'm looking forward to. I know the Georgia game. What I would do is go all in for the Georgia, but don't get hurt. But just say, look, we're probably going to lose that game anyway. Let's be real. Throw everything at the kitchen sink with play loose, play wild, blitz, throw deep balls, get healthy. I think good program growth would be win on the road at Mississippi State, beat Arkansas, no more Heupel hiccup, because I think that's a big step that we don't lose the head scratchers, because I love Coach Heupel. I would even count the Purdue Bowl game as a Heupel head scratcher. He has had one each year. So I think if we go 5-1, even with the Georgia L, that's a great program growth.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, I think that's a fair criticism of him, but I don't know if it's a myopic criticism, because it might be that that's just modern college football now. Especially when you're kind of in the middle of the pack like we are. Like, we're not. The Ohio States of the world, those types of things, Alabama's of the world. Well, maybe not Alabama right now. But the Georgias of the world, certainly, they don't have those types of outings where you get the one out of nowhere loss. But if you think about the rest of this league, everybody has out of nowhere losses. I mean,
he doesn't have out of nowhere losses like Kentucky beating Ole Miss, though. He's yet to have a game like that. So do with that what you will.
I don't know about that, Brian. That Arkansas game last year was dreadful.
South Carolina.
Or that South Carolina loss was awful. Now, the one thing about the Kentucky game, though, is that happened in Lane's building, did it not?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
I mean, he's been pretty good on his home field. So, 865-200-5402. If you want to hunt mix hunt with us as we get the hunting in the mix with you. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. It's Rusty.
Hey, Rusty. Welcome in.
Thanks, brother. You guys were talking about the point spread stuff. And somebody said Texas somewhere would probably still be over Ohio State. It's everywhere. Texas would still, on a neutral field, be favored over Ohio State by basically everybody that does a model and a power rating. So Bama would still be favored over Florida State significantly by like every model on a neutral field.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't know where Steve, did you say that Florida would be 3 over us right now? Is that at Florida or is that neutral field?
No, that was that. Those teams, by most of the rankings I've seen, are right on top of each other. Some people have Tennessee a little ahead, or some models have Tennessee a little ahead. Some have Florida. So I was saying at Florida, I think you get the 3.5, probably 3 even would be my guess, just for the home field. I think it's probably a pick 'em on a neutral between those two if they played on Saturday.
Yeah, I would say from Florida to I think Florida in most of the power ratings is around 8. Tennessee's around 15 or 16. I think from 8 to 19, it's about a point on a neutral field. All those teams separated by. It's so convoluted and everybody just clumped together.
Yeah, I've seen FPI, I know, and SP Plus are a little higher on Tennessee. It's very interesting. I know Josh Payne put a thing out that had Tennessee closer to the mid-teens and Florida a little higher. But like you're saying, there's a pretty big gap, I think, after those top 5 or 6, and then when you get 8 to 20, something like that, there's not much of a difference between those teams as far as setting a spread.
Yep, Pates has Tennessee at 14, but he said he doesn't agree with that model. He has Tennessee way higher than 14 in his own personal, but the computer's spitting out where Tennessee is. But Tennessee's 14. I think Clemson's 13, one spot ahead of them. I mean, it's all convoluted. You guys, and then the other thing you guys were talking about going with the quarterbacks with the bigger arm and more talent, and it's happened kind of twice now. And then the guy who might be a better fit fell into his lap. The NFL has scouts galore. They have a lot of times 6-7 years of footage of these quarterbacks playing in high school in football pads, college in football pads. They interview them till the 10th degree. They have all these things, and they draft these guys, and they hit on about 15-20% of guys can play. Imagine you're recruiting a guy who played 1 year of high school football in football pads, and that's all the footage you have on him. And you have no idea or you're recruiting a guy who started 3 years of high school, even like Arch, and all you have is 3 years of high school footage on him, and then you have to know, can he come translate to college? If the NFL's getting it wrong as much as they do, how are these college coaches getting it right on these high school kids?
You know what I wonder, Rusty, is if in this era of everything accelerated in the portal, if we start seeing these programs move off these quarterbacks quicker.
I think you're going to stop seeing as much emphasis on recruiting high school quarterbacks. I think there's going to be way more interest in that Cal quarterback than any kid out of high school.
Oh hell yeah, he's for folks that haven't seen him, he's unbelievable. That guy's worth watching.
Oh, I mean, no offense. I mean, Brandon's going to be an absolute stud, I think. But again, you're watching him play high school ball.
That's right.
You don't know. You just don't know. You know that kid from Cal can play tomorrow in any system, anywhere, anytime. So I think you're going to see a heavier emphasis on recruiting guys that have started in college out of the portal from these big programs than you see them going after high school kids. Just my guess.
Such a great point. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and it kind of goes with this, right? We don't know what we're watching, but a lot of times these head coaches don't. And all these they have staffs of like 50 people, like Rusty's saying, and you still swing a miss. And the NFL game, obviously the change from high school to college has got to be a significant jump. The jump from college to the NFL's, they just say unreal because every week is an SEC game. Plus, these guys are out there are all of world-class speed. The windows are so small. You've got to get the ball out. The schemes are extremely intricate, and it can really make your head spin. And then once they scout you at that level, you can have success early on as an NFL quarterback, and then they get a book on you. It's kind of like what these pitching coaches do. Hey, see, this Pete Crow Armstrong guy has regressed back to the mean. He's gotten benched here recently. Have you seen that?
Yeah, we talked about it off the air.
You told me that was going to happen. Yeah, you told me that was coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some of the stuff isn't really even too deep of, like, it's not like you're looking into the crazy deep stats. The Pete Crow Armstrong stuff, there was a lot of stuff there that kind of suggested that was coming, just to chase rate and stuff like that. And he hits the ball really hard, plays really good defense in center field, so he's still a good player. But as far as the regression coming offensively, it was easy to spot. And that's the thing we were talking about earlier. As these numbers get a little more detailed and people like Bill Conley kind of become a little more accepted, it'll be easier. Football is a little harder than baseball, I think, to quantify stuff just inherently, but it will be interesting to see if there's some better ways to evaluate and predict kind of certain traits and attributes. But yeah, in baseball, they've kind of maybe even overdone it to the point of they've got it down to a science. And some people think that's made the game a lot worse, but they've certainly got it down to a science as far as what traits tell you what and what they're looking at and what means what and all this stuff.
And Rusty has a really good point too. Like if the kid from Cal picked the phone up and he called Tennessee and said, "Hey, I've always dreamed of playing for the Vols." Let me tell you something. You would be, if you've seen him, and I've seen him, you would be very tempted to grab that guy. Anybody would be. I'm telling you, that guy is going to be. I don't think it's a reach to say he's going to be in the Southeastern Conference playing for somebody next year. I don't think that's a reach. Take a brief timeout. We come back with more. And that's going to be very interesting moving forward. Because if you look at some of these playoff teams, well, look at Ohio State last year. They went and rented Will Howard. And Will Howard came back to Ohio State and said the other day, he said, "This is my home." Okay. I mean, who am I to argue? It's your home. You played at Kansas State, dude, for like 4 years. Continue with more right after this.
Hey, Tony B listeners. I'm Billy from Grade A Grounds, a UT grad bringing Knoxville a better way to raise money. We roast premium coffee fully branded for your team or cause. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% to local needs. Let's win on and off the field. Visit gradeagrounds.com to start your winning fundraiser today.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka, distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place that's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions. Over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fanrun Radio.
Fan running with you on a incredible Thursday. And then coming up, ladies and germs, Chase Thomas. But in the meantime, we got you. And we're wide open for you at 865-200-5402 if you want to get in the mix with us. Let me hit the reset button here. I got C in here. We've had some great conversation in hour one regarding this weekend to be. And look, I'm a huge Eagle fan. My nephew Joe is watching up in Philly. Shout out to him. The Eagles and Cowboys get it on. Bang a gong, get it on tonight. I'm not talking about that because all politics are local. And, well, this isn't one of those real interesting NFL season openers. Why do you guys think the NFL chose to feature a non-competitive game as their Thursday game, C?
They have huge fan bases, I think.
Yeah, when you see those ratings come out tomorrow, Tana, you'll know.
Did you see the numbers from that Ohio State game, guys? College football, a big audience used to be 4 million. They had 19 million people, guys, watching that Texas game the other day. Put that in perspective for me. See, what's a playoff game do in college football?
I think 15 to 20, right? Maybe that's like a Final Four game.
I mean, they had 19 million people. They had 19 million people viewing that thing.
Those two huge brands, yeah. That's not. I mean, that's a huge number. That's like a bad week on it. That's NFL numbers, a not great NFL number. Which is obviously those are gigantic numbers.
And I'll say this: both those teams put on a great show for the product. But I continue to wonder aloud how long college football is going to allow teams like Syracuse to make games 4.5 hours long. And I know our fans were mad when it bled into our window, but Matt said it best. How could you not go off our game? I mean, imagine if they got their hands around that stuff, how great this game would be right now. And here's the other thing, and I'm not about it. It's all about the TV ratings. I'm not, whatever. But in the portal era, the game has exploded. And I don't know if it's because it's a part of the NFL model where the game's always in front of you. That's the one thing the NFL, and I don't even know if the NFL did it on purpose, but the NFL's turned itself into a 24/7 entity where every time you walk by, if you just put ESPN on in the background, okay, which in my house, it's background noise. I can't watch that stuff. And that Greenberg guy, I mean, my God. But if you just walk by it at any given time, it's either the Cowboys or the LA Lakers or the Cowboys or the LA Lakers up there on your screen. But it's always the NFL. They talk about the NFL 24/7 on there. And let me tell you something that's not that interesting. It's the NFL. No offense to it. Let's go to the phones. Did the Eagles cover tonight, by the way? What do you all think? 8-point line, 7.5, 8 points. What am I to believe here?
It's a lot of points. I mean, the Cowboys are going to be dreadful, I think, on defense.
Are they really?
They're going to be really bad on defense.
They have Kenny Clark. I mean, I was texting with RJ Choppy the other day, and I was laughing with him about how on his morning show they were laughing about Jerry Jones when he announced that trade. First 15 minutes was talking about Kenny Clark, and we were just giggling at that because they were like, "Yeah, Jerry trying to sell everybody that was some kind of swap." Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Basilio, what's going on, man?
There he is. What's up, my man Josh? How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good. Hey, have you watched any of these film breakdowns? It's all over YouTube this week, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about Heupel.
I'm watching. Oh, yeah.
It's kind of amazing how much this quarterback team deal may turn into a blessing for us. I've seen where Aguilar last year was 65% for 65% inside 10 yards outside the numbers. Well, Nico, he threw for 85% less than 10 yards outside the numbers. But I kind of think that's the only throw he could make, Tony. It's forced Heupel to use the whole field now. And, you've seen how many sets that he had with the Brow stuff, with the wide receivers out wide. There wasn't near as many as the past 2 years, Tony. I think we're a lot better football team.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I mean, you're going to use more of the field. Watson Brown said he was really blown away by some of the wrinkles that Tennessee came with. And look, I think at the end of it all, you're going to use more of the field. You're going to use. I think, Matt, from a wide receiver standpoint, that had to be a very exciting opener in that wide receiver room. When they went back and saw how much meat they left on the bones, the wide receivers are going to have a real opportunity this year, it looks like, to take a step.
Yeah, a lot of one-on-one coverage when you go with two tight ends.
Yep.
Obviously, the running game's really good. So you can lean on that a lot. And, it's interesting. It does seem like Heupel's a little bit more creative in how he's, getting the ball out and what he can do, and used in the middle of the field, which even going back to his UCF days was rarely used. I mean, so much of their passing game is outside the numbers or like quick screen type stuff.
Yep.
So to use the middle of the field really, really stresses defenses.
One of the things Watson talked about too was that Tennessee, for the first time in a while, were not really using the wide splits with the receivers as well. I mean, it was like they were just aggressive from the very beginning and said, hey, we're a different animal. We're going to attack the middle of the field today. And they trust a guy that's been here 100 days. Here's what I wonder.
That's the difference, Tony.
But
that's the difference.
I don't know, though, because they got mad at Nico, which I found out. Nico got up there at a press conference in the winter and said, hey, we basically have installed some new stuff. And they were kind of hinting around about the pistol. And they got mad at him and were like, man, you shouldn't be giving away things like that in the media because that's how this Heupel guy is. He likes to talk and say nothing. He could be a talk radio host. But I wonder if they were going to do that anyway with Nico. What do you all think? Do you think they were going to do that with Nico anyway?
I don't think they trusted Nico to throw over the middle of the field or Joe Milton.
What do you
Either
think?
one.
What do you think, Matt? Were they going to introduce that? Is that what Nico was talking about?
Well, they were going to do the pistol stuff was what Nico had mentioned, and I don't know if they were going to go over the middle as much. That I don't know. That would have been interesting to see. I would think so, but I don't know if that's something that one, Nico's comfortable doing, and two, that the coaches trust him to do.
Josh, did you see any of Nico Saturday night?
Yeah, I watched it. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I liked the first quarter, first half. Then I started. I kind of felt sorry for him, Tony. Even though I didn't want to feel sorry for him, but I kind of felt sorry for him.
Yeah, you're a kind of a good-hearted guy, kind of like I am. I mean, I play sort of a heel sometimes. I found myself thinking, boy, I would hate it. And I'm not judging this Nick guy. People can raise their kids and do whatever they want to do. I would hate it if my decision-making and my haste put my son in that spot that he's put his son in. Because I'm going to tell you something.
I can't believe he's
going to get hurt.
So different a player than what we thought after watching him for 2 weeks.
He's so bad.
He's not a very good quarterback, Tony.
No, he's just
not. He's not a good football player.
No, he's not a good football player. And you know what? And Sean said it last year and people jumped at him. He does not make the people around him better. Not one iota, man. Not one iota.
The main question is Alabama going to get it together, or are they going to fall off a cliff? Because I'm sitting here waiting. I'm praying it's over, Tony. It's time for them to take their medicine, and the whole league's waiting on this, longing for it, Tony. I want pain and misery in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, for about 5 years.
Could happen. Could everybody goes? Every dog has its day. And I was thinking that was not going to happen there because I was thinking they hired a very good coach who's been a very good coach everywhere he's been. His team looked unplugged in week 1. Not a good sign.
It reminded me of that Harsin hire, Tommy. He just don't fit there at all.
Maybe you're right.
I don't know. Anyway, go be birds. See you guys. Hang in there.
Hey, boys, let me ask you guys something. In light of Josh, let's go around the room. Shovel dirt on Alabama right now, or is it too early? Brian?
I think it's too early because I believe they're going to put that younger guy in there at quarterback, the Russell kid.
Yes.
And he might spark them a little bit. And they still have a lot of talent there if they can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And DeBoer's one. He may be geographically misfit where he's at, but he's had a lot of success. So I don't know if it West Coast translates to the SEC, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he took Washington to the national championship game. But then again, I want to know how much of his success is based on Michael Penix.
Matt Dixon.
I think he won at Fresno too. So
shovel dirt on Alabama, Matt, or is it too little early?
As like a national title contender, I think they're done there.
Interesting.
I don't think you can improve some of the stuff that we saw, but as a team that can win 9-10 games, maybe even make the playoffs, a little early for that. But I think there are major questions down there with what they've got. I mean, that was alarming, some of the stuff that you saw, which could be a one-game deal. But again, getting blown up on both lines of scrimmage it's hard to fix that.
See? Got the shovel in your hand, or is it too early? What do you think?
I kind of agree with both those guys. I'm not gonna bury them, but there were some concerning signs. The only thing that's keeping me from burying them is, like Matt said, obviously DeBoer's won everywhere, or Brian said, DeBoer's won everywhere, and I do think Kellen Russell is probably going to give him a little bit of a spark. And I don't think they're as bad as they looked on Saturday. I think that was probably kind of like the Oklahoma game last year. I know when it's in week 1, it's a little bit harder to say this, and you don't have any positives to kind of weigh it down. But I wouldn't be surprised if we look back at the end of the year and say that's the worst performance of the year overall from them. I think that's about as bad as I could even have imagined them looking. So I can't imagine that's not maybe the worst that we'll see from them. So I don't think they're one of those top tier teams with Texas and Ohio State and LSU, Penn State, that group. But I think that they can make the playoffs still if things go right.
Yeah, it to me, it just doesn't seem like I'm just such a believer in talent. They're extremely talented. That's the thing about Saturday that makes no sense. Like you guys were saying, if they played the game again tomorrow, they'd be favored. And they're extremely talented, but there's got to be a disconnect there, though. That's a weird thing
Florida
about their deal.
State might actually end up being pretty good.
Well, that's right. That's exactly right.
They could be that we may look back on that. Alabama might have a pretty good season. They might rebound. We might think, well, Florida State, they ended up, that was just a sign of things to come for them.
And that's why what we see early in the year, we don't know how to put it in context. And as long as you have this portal, like yesterday on the blog, I refer to Florida State as team variance going forward because this is what this guy's going to do. And some years they're going to put it together and it's going to be unbelievable. Some years they're going to put it together and it's going to be awful. And maybe, Brian, this guy strikes gold again. Maybe they run off and go 11. Maybe they go 10-1 from here. And their lone loss is Clemson. And you look up and they go to the championship game and they get the playoff. Because that win over Alabama, I know one thing. Florida State's cheering for Alabama from here. They want that thing to carry some weight. They don't want Alabama to fall off the table. And the other thing with DeBoer is, and I know people are shoveling dirt on him, let me tell you something. The guy is a great football coach. The guy is very good. Very good. I'll tell you who didn't look ready for that, Matt, is that quarterback, the kid from Martin, Tennessee. But I don't know how much of that was him even, because we were watching that here, and he was getting, during our post game, he was getting his face knocked in. I mean, he got hammered in that game, guys.
Yeah, and their running game wasn't there, so Florida State could just kind of tee off.
Yep.
Receivers weren't really helping him a ton, but no, he obviously struggled too. But he was far from their biggest issue. But I think Brian said it that with the way that it looks like their season might trend, they're going to almost have to go to the 5-star freshman at some point, even if it's just to try to get their team some juice. They've got that game at Georgia here in a few weeks.
Yep.
That, I mean, it's hard to imagine them winning that one, but you never know. But they've got issues.
Back to the phones.
That was such a stunning result. Not as stunning as them losing at Vandy last year.
Right.
Even if you consider the spot that game was, but I mean, to see them just be totally unprepared and just out physical across the field in a season opener was just stunning.
The way that they look too, like the body language, the unpluggedness of them is really what's got to be. I mean, those people down there, they expect absolute perfection, and they were unplugged on Saturday. Back to the phones we go. If you want to get in, 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, guys, Dave.
Hey, Dave, welcome in.
I want to talk about this Mississippi State game and making excuses. They're bringing in 65 new players. Mississippi State is. Tennessee should win that game, Tony. There's no excuse not to win that game.
Did anybody on this panel make an excuse? I said, here's my take. If Mississippi State wins this weekend, they will be a live dog when the Vols take the field down there. If that game goes off and they're 4-0, that's going to be one hostile atmosphere, and it's going to increase the difficulty of that game. And I'll stand with C, who says it's the 5th hardest game on Tennessee's schedule right now. I think that's right. It's the 5th hardest game on the schedule. Look, when you go on the road in this league, it's difficult. And to your point, let's say they do have all those new players, which they do, Dave. But by that point, you're a month into the year, and you're starting to round into shape. That's when the season starts to take form, where you kind of know what you have. And who knows, maybe with their 65 players, maybe they've hit on a bunch of them. Who knows? I mean, none of us know that. But but who on here is making excuses for that game? That's a game you should win if you're the Vols. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying the degree of difficulty for that game goes up if they beat Arizona State in 2 days. Is there something wrong with saying that?
No, I'm to the point where, he's going to have to stop this losing a game that he's not supposed to lose every year. Like the Arkansas game and the South Carolina game. I mean, at some point, we're paying this guy to get it figured out and to win the championship. I'm serious, Tony.
Well, you know what? Like one of our callers said earlier, when you're in the middle, like we are, sort of that 8 to 25 teams in the country, or 10 to 25, wherever the Vols are, who knows? It'll all shake out. Those teams are always going to beat each other, and those teams are always going to have moments where anybody can beat them. It's just the nature of this. Why do we look at the plank in our own eye and not look at other people? I mean, it happens to everybody in that deal. It's not just Heupel.
Well, it doesn't happen because I'm I really liked what I saw out of Aguilera on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying we were going to go 10-2 or 11-1 or anything like that. But I think we should win the games that we should win, and then there's a few games that maybe we can win.
What's your number, Dave? Dave, what's your number?
Now?
Come clean with me. What's your win-loss when you're talking with your buddies, right? What's your win-loss record right now?
Well, when I started the year, I just thought it was. Well, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
If I thought before the Nico thing in the spring,
yep.
I thought that Tennessee could be a 9-3, 10-2 team.
Okay.
All right. And I knew that at Florida, that's been a challenge. At Alabama, been a challenge.
Right.
But Georgia, of course, they're the top of the top. So that was my thing. Then when we lost Nico, I was thinking, well, maybe 8-4. You know, I don't know what we're going to do at quarterback. We get to take another guy. Who knows how that's going to work out? But my 4 losses would be the three big ones, and maybe in Oklahoma, but not in Mississippi State. So that's where I was at. But then I'm slightly encouraged by what I saw on Saturday.
I'm very encouraged. Yeah, I am too.
And I just don't. I think if you lose the Mississippi State game, that just sucks the wind right out of your sail.
I guess the point is, though, that Tennessee's schedule is so pedestrian in nature.
Right.
That Mississippi State is the 5th toughest game. I mean, you can credibly say that, I think. It's either Mississippi State or Arkansas here. And anytime you play on the road in this league is difficult. Anytime you play on the road at night in this league, and then that Mississippi State deal, Matt, with the cowbells and all that whole atmosphere, it's just a bizarre place to play anyway. Just bizarre. It's a bizarre scene.
Well, the only time we lost to them when Mullen had that thing rolling there for a few years.
Yep.
And besides that, we've gone down there and usually, besides the 94 game when Peyton was a freshman,
yep.
we usually have gone down there and handled business pretty well.
Yep.
So that's just my 2 cents. Y'all have a great day.
Dave, you're the man. Read the blog today over at tclub.team. I put about 600 or 700 words of Tennessee basketball recruiting information in there. I think it's really interesting that what the Vols have done is they've loaded up the Duke weekend, and they're using the Duke weekend like they used to use a huge football weekend, which speaks to the backloaded nature of how these seasons are starting earlier and earlier. And so they've taken the opportunity to schedule a Duke exhibition game in their building. It's going to be it's going to be sold out, 22,000, whatever the number is. It's going to be wild in there. And they're going to use that opportunity to show off the campus instead of a football weekend. It's kind of an interesting strategy there.
Hey, T, you got an early line on that Duke scrimmage?
No, not yet. Once KenPom comes out, I'll let you guys know.
Will people gamble on that, C, or no?
You can't bet on it. It's not bettable, I don't think.
All right.
But, I mean, you can figure out what the line would have been once KenPom comes out, so we'll be able to tell what the mock line would have been. Remember, Tennessee lost to Indiana last year in that deal. And it's hard to know because these coaches, some of them are trying to win at all costs, some are trying to get guys experience, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, it's still, I think it's a good thing, like you were saying, Tony, for recruiting and things like that, to get a brand like that in your building.
We better not lose to damn Duke in our building. I mean, I'll be ripping up that lifetime. Well, never. No, I won't. If we continue with more on the other side, if Coach K was still there, that would be unhealthy. That would be an unhealthy thing with us in the same county. So we continue with more after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline, online at tldlogistics.com.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Fall officially begins this month, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family-owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
A lime is not always just a lime. You see, some limes are lucky. For when a lime joins the salted rim of a crisp, refreshing Tres Dos Equis, that lime is no longer a mere lime, but a wedge of renowned Mexican limon. Muchas gracias, limon. And also, de nada. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team started at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City,
Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw Premium Vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Tony B here with the great Zakai Ziegler for
Hey, whoa. Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you. Thy head, ladies and gentlemen, is bowed as we welcome you back, 865-200-5402. It is a huge college football weekend. It's a huge weekend here locally as well, because those of you coming into town for the game, and you've heard us talking about this incredible new baseball stadium downtown, it remains incredible. It remains new. And the Smokies are at home this week. So an opportunity for you to get in the place and enjoy yourself and double dip and all that good stuff. Because tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Rice fans, and I do mean race fans, because you had T3 Vodka's T3 TD car out there last night. Eris, is there anything you guys don't do? I mean, my gosh, man.
No, dude, we literally do it all. And I don't know if you heard the news or not, but we broke it last night. Covenant Health Park, the home of your Knoxville Smokies, won 2025 Ballpark of the Year.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, man. So that covers not just minor league baseball. That's Major League Baseball, too. This award started back in 2000. The San Francisco Giants Stadium won the very first one. Pittsburgh PNC Park won. So Covenant Health Park going in with those other Major League Baseball clubs, stadiums. It truly is a wonderful ballpark here. I've been saying it all year long. If you haven't been out to a game yet, we got today, we got tomorrow, the next day, and Sunday. And then that's it for when it comes to Smokies baseball. So if you haven't been out to the ballpark, come on by. We got something going on every single day, just as you said, bro. And, take some pride in the fact that, hey, this ballpark is literally Ballpark of the Year for the entire country.
I'm extremely proud of that. And I knew that was a special place back in the winter when the great Chris Allen was walking me around as the thing was coming into form, and then seeing the finished product. I mean, my gosh, Eris, that's got to be just put some extra pep in your step to come into that ballpark every day.
I mean, it's awesome, dude. Every single day, it's a blessing to be here. It's so much fun to work at America's friendliest ballpark and create memories that last a lifetime. And it's crazy how quickly the summer has come and gone. And hey, we got 4 more days to make it as best as we can, bro.
The great Jeff Day bumped into my son the other night, who was at the ball game. Anthony loves going to the games. And his dad hadn't been able to walk with his back, so I've been able to get out like I'd like this summer. Kind of got past me. But, Eris, I'll tell you this. The time I've spent there this summer, every time I'm there, you guys roll out the red carpet for every single person is treated like a VIP. It's almost like VIP play in that ballpark. So lay it on me here. What do we got going on tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, Rice fans?
Yeah, bro. So tonight's our final Thursday of the season. So half-price draft beers. And it's also Old City night at the ballpark. So we're inviting all of our Old City neighbors that are businesses, restaurants, bars, and whatnot. They're coming to the ballpark today. They're setting up booths and tables, so they're going to pass out information about who they are and what they do in the Old City in downtown Knoxville. And feel free to stop by all of our friends' tables today. You have a chance to win some fabulous prizes that are provided by them. So really neat. Come one, come all. And any parents that are listening today, and if your child goes to school in Knox County, they should have been given some vouchers. And today is the final day to utilize those vouchers to come exchange it for a ticket to today's game. So pretty neat. We had a huge walk-up yesterday of over 1,800 students came to the game yesterday.
Wow.
So, yeah, dude. So today's the final day to do it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more. Come early and grab the seat that you want. So pretty exciting times here on Thursday.
And then on Friday, lay it on me.
Hey, man. Friday and Saturday, those are our final fireworks shows of the season. The entire summer, every Friday, every Saturday, we've been lighting up the Knoxville sky with fireworks. So if you haven't come out to a game yet, Friday and Saturday is the chance to do it, where you can see fireworks after the game.
Eris, and to the folks that haven't been, I'm just going to say, if you're coming in from out of the area and you're going to the ETSU game, great opportunity for you to get over there. Should they buy their tickets ahead of time, Eris? Because I know you guys fill up on Fridays and Saturdays.
Oh, yeah. You know, we have a monster crowd lined up for every single one of our final games this season. So if you want to get a seat, especially if you want to get a seat that you like, you need to do it as soon as possible. Visit us at the box office here at the ballpark, or it's easier just go to smokiesbaseball.com to claim your seats, my friend.
Eris, you're the man. All right, now we got the formalities out of the way. Smokiesbaseball.com. You check them out. Did I get the address right there, Eris? I'm a little punch drunk.
Smokiesbaseball.com. You're good.
All right. What's going to happen tonight, man? Thursday night, 7:45 Eastern time kickoff. And how are you going to serve two masters at once? Because you work there, and you have a ball game going on. Yet the Dallas Cowboy fans are out in full force right now. This is the season for them. They get to come November. They're going to put all their clothes back in the containers. They'll put them away for the winter till next summer again when they get their stuff back out. But right now the Cowboy feathers are flying. What happens tonight, Eris, in that football game in Philadelphia?
Well, I'll tell you this much. This is probably the best time ever to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan. You know more than I do. You've been a fan of the Eagles for longer than me, just because you've been on this earth longer than I have. So I am reveling in every single moment right now. And I'll tell you this much. You know, I love the comment that Nick Sirianni said about how, there's banner raising happening. No, we won't be out there for that. He has that team locked and loaded, ready to go. They're putting last season in the past. They're looking forward to another championship this season. The Eagles are going to steamroll them, dude. Like, this is not going to be a contest. Might be close for the first couple minutes, but it's going to be game over. Game over early.
Eris is coming correct on Cowboy Nation. Coming correct. Eris, thanks, babe. Love you.
Love you, bro.
And love your show, man. I love your show. Thank you. Because he took it over there. On your TLD Logistics hotline as he appeared. And if you want to get in 865-200-5402, Eris just said the Eagles are going to rain it down on them. All right, C, Matt, and Brian, I need a 3-team parlay this week for my parlay in college football. Now, tonight we're going to record another edition of Winners and Losers presented by our friends at Dos Equis. But last week I threw up a 3-legger VIP play and it hit. And I want to stay hot. So, Brian, give me something that you really love this weekend that I should take under consideration for my 3-team parlay.
Well, there's 2 games I really think are going to be winners. Ole Miss minus 10.5 at Kentucky. Revenge spot for Lane Kiffin. Kentucky, I think, sucks.
Interesting.
And Navy minus 21.5 versus UAB. UAB does suck. They have no defense. Navy at home. So those are the two I'd start with.
AC, UAB's defense, one of the worst in Power 5. Is that right?
They're not Power 5, but FBS, yeah.
I mean, FBS is what I meant.
Yeah, they're very bad. They get 42 points. I believe it was 52-42 last week against Alabama A&M. Is that who they?
That's correct.
Alabama State. 52-42 against Alabama State.
Terry Catledge in Alabama State. Yes.
Yeah, Alabama State put 42 on them. We'll see what Navy can do. A lot of points for a service academy game, but if anybody can afford to give up 21 or be giving 21 to a service academy, it's this UAB Trent Dilfer team.
See, give me something under consideration that you love. And Matt, I got to ask you something. Matt, do you believe that Kentucky's going to take a whooping after what happened last year and Lane's going to make an example out of them? Does Ole Miss have enough offense, Matt, to do that on the road this weekend in your mind? Because that's the question. What do you think, Matt?
I agree. Sorry, I was muted.
Do they have enough?
I agree with Brian. It's a revenge spot.
All right.
And Ole Miss has plenty of offense. So, yeah, I think they put it on Kentucky because you can run it up on them pretty good.
All right. I'm going to put that down. That Ole Miss matchup, that'll be fun to watch. Ole Miss with Kentucky. All right, I'm gonna take that under advisement. See,
that game's on during our game. Is that right?
That's correct. That's correct. And our game's on pay-per-view, basically. Our game's on the alternate channel, which I call the alternative channel. See, give me an upset out there somewhere.
Oh,
give me something you really like. Give me something you really like for my 3-team parlay.
I'll say it now. I'll try and let me find an upset real quick. I'll say what I really like for winners and losers. You have to listen to that.
Thank you.
Upset. I'll go with. I kind of like Baylor. I know you're not going to want to put this in your. You're very down on Dave Aranda.
I don't understand why you would bet on Baylor this week. I mean, why would anybody bet on Baylor based on what you saw?
I mean, yeah, defensively they're a little bit of a question mark, but
a little
I don't
bit.
really think SMU is going to be able to exploit them the same way that Auburn did. I thought Auburn had a good game plan. We heard all offseason about Jackson Arnold and how badly he was playing in camp, and they're going to play all 3 quarterbacks and 3 different play callers, all this stuff. I thought Hugh Freeze did a good job against Baylor. They took what they were giving them, and Jackson Arnold obviously was very tough to stop at his feet. They didn't even have to use all those high-powered receivers. But I don't really think SMU is going to be able to do what Auburn did to him. And I think Baylor offensively showed some promise in that game. They moved the ball. They did have some fourth down conversions. I thought Sawyer Robertson looked okay.
Hey.
I'm down on SMU. So give me Baylor. This is down to like 2.5. I think Baylor wins this game outright.
Hey, Matt. The Auburn quarterback, okay, who we saw at Oklahoma last year. I still have my doubts after watching him the other night. How can you have that receiving core and you're not throwing the ball at all in that football game? Is it because they didn't have to throw the ball?
Yeah, they didn't have to. Baylor was letting them just gash them on the ground, and they took full advantage. No, Jackson Arnold wasn't good throwing early in that game. So no, I wouldn't trust Jackson Arnold either, even though those receivers are pretty good. Now they might have a game or two where it clicks and they play over their head.
Yeah,
that's kind of a Hugh Freeze special. But then they'll also have 2 games where they totally lay an egg. But no, I wouldn't trust Jackson Arnold at all.
2 teams have really given themselves an opportunity with their performances to grow into the season. Tennessee and Auburn both did that with their openers in this league. But both teams, both of those clubs, both of those programs gave themselves an opportunity to grow into the season by looking pretty impressive. And obviously their opponent probably tougher than the one Tennessee saw. Dave Aranda, man, is he like 10 under 500 since they went 10-2 now? I mean, I know you'd laugh at that, but
I'm not laughing.
The guy sucks, man. The guy sucks. No offense to him.
Well, Matt's talking about they're going to lose. Well, you know what the game they're going to lose they shouldn't lose is Diego Pavia owns Hugh Freeze. Remember 2 years ago they beat him at New Mexico State.
Oh, that's a stone cold loss.
And last year they won at Auburn. They have to go to Vandy this year. They're not beating. Pavia owns Hugh Freeze, so that's one of the losses.
How about this game with Virginia Tech? I went to pick Vandy, and I just couldn't with a straight face pick Vanderbilt in that game. Even though that Drones guy is a brutal thrower of the football. I mean, brutal. We'll get some more calls in. It's all ahead. A quick 2-2 and more calls on the other side after this. Are you stuck in a dead-end job? Or
I can't make up my mind what to do.
Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit tldlogistics.com. That's tldlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high-character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
A lime is not always just a lime. You see, some limes are lucky. For when a lime joins the salted rim of a crisp, refreshing Tres Dos Equis, that lime is no longer a mere lime, but a wedge of renowned Mexican limon. Muchas gracias, limon. And also, de nada. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Achillio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. The Car Guru, national award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality, pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. Basilio here reminding you that when you want to sell your extra tickets to the game, you don't want to give your life away online with all your personal information just because you want to sell a few extra tickets. Clark Moore at Select Ticket Service will gladly buy your extra game tickets and your extra parking passes. And the best part? Clarky Boy pays cash. 865-919-1016. 865-919-1016. Clarky Boy pays cash at Select Ticket Service. Clarky Boy pays cash. Firing it up, focusing you, and preparing you. The incomparable Chase Thomas on the way next here on Fanrun. My name is Basilio, breaking it down scientifically with you. We got in the house today, CTGMD, Brian Hartman, and we've been pretty wall-to-wall with you today. So let's go ahead and jump back to our phones. Shout out to Eris with my Smokies who are in town the rest of the weekend for cutting an absolute promo on the Dallas Cowboys. I wish I could say I was feeling as frisky as he is. I just don't trust 8-point lines in the NFL, and I don't know how to feel about opening weekend. Hello and welcome in. You are on the air.
How's my French compatriots doing today?
Hey, W. Lynn, welcome in, buddy. Good to talk to you.
I'm telling you what, Tony, two of the greatest guests you've ever had were Will Healy and David Blackburn yesterday. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
So great. Shine the light on what they have going on there, W. Lynn. Thanks for saying that.
And I know Marcos Garza supports the ETSU program.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I've always considered him our little brother. I pull for them in Chattanooga in, 1AA every game they play, and stuff like that. So
I agree.
And I love the way he explained how they get a payday between 500 and 600,000 from Power 4. For a group of 5 team like UAB will get like 1.5 million from us.
Yep.
So that's a big difference.
Huge difference. I didn't realize it was that big a disparity.
Yeah, but still for 1AA, 600,000 is a lot they need. And once again, that's who we ought to be playing in the spring game if we can give them 600,000.
Hey, that's a great question. See, do you think they ever get to the point where you bring in an East Tennessee State in the summer and scrimmage with them, or in the spring and scrimmage with them like these NFL teams do? Now that we have professional football, you think we're going to get to that?
Yeah, I do. I think we will. People have been asking for it. Coaches have been kind of pushing for it for several years now. And you see it now with basketball, like we talked about earlier. I think we'll get there with football. It's another revenue opportunity also for the AD. So I don't see what the pushback would be.
Yeah, W. Lynn, you bring them in, and then you practice with them for a week, and then you go play a game. It's like the NFL does now.
If you want to put green jerseys on skill players or whatever, that's fine. But I guarantee you we'd get 60,000 people in there for what looks like a real game, and
stay right there, W. Lynn. His call will happen on TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. Matt, my favorite thing I've ever seen is when they had the black shirts on the linebackers, and Jim Chaney, was that Jim? Who was blitzing? Pruitt was blitzing his linebackers on Jim Chaney's offense. They were,
Yeah, Pruitt was blitzing the no contact linebacker.
No contact line.
Black shirt blitzer.
I mean, I love this. I love this place, man. This place produces content even when it's trying not to produce content. The king of content, ladies and gentlemen. The great Chase is up next. You bow your head when you say thy name, followed by Dubsy. I love you. I appreciate you. Peace! And G to the B to the O. We'll see you tomorrow at Calhoun's.
You're listening to